having a bit of a little family dinner later, and I'm responsible for macaroni and cheese, which I'm terrified about because I don't know what it is about macaroni and cheese, but I seem to always mess it up somehow. That'll be an adventure. I have been watching video after video, looking at recipe after recipe, trying to figure out what is the best way. I didn't want to do a roux because I feel like that's where things go sideways for me. I didn't want to use eggs. I was nervous about making a cheese sauce. So, you know, what am I gonna do? I saw a lot of videos of kind of like a one bowl method, which interests me a lot because it's kind of like lazy girl macaroni and cheese, which I feel like I'm a fan of. So I'm gonna try that and we'll see how it goes. I've never done this before. Brave of me to try this on a night where multiple people are going to be depending on this food. I feel like, how could I go wrong? Famous last words. I am going to do a lot of my prep earlier because I have a lot of cheese to grate. I have my kind of, see, this thing, I swear, is broken. It never stays suctioned for the life of me, and I feel like something's broken inside because it never locks. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, I've got mozzarella, a sharp cheddar. I wanted to go with the yellow to give it some color, a Colby Jack, and I love a bit of New York extra sharp cheddar. So we're going kind of mild with the cheeses. We're just gonna go with it, and we're gonna add some flavor with some of the like spices that we're gonna use. So I'm gonna be grating cheese for a bit. Start with my cheddar. It came unsuctioned again. I'm going to throw this thing out the window, but I'm not shredding all of this by hand. There is no way, so I'm gonna just make it work. And I'm not even using really any measurements for cheese, which is probably a mistake. I'm just gonna go by handfuls and see how it feels. So if this gets messed up in the end, it's completely my fault because I just cannot be bothered to follow a recipe. I should get a bowl. Anything that doesn't grate up is a snack. I love cheddar cheese. Up until more recent that I'd like to admit, that I did not know that cheddar could be yellow. I've always had white cheddar. So when I saw yellow cheddar cheese, same with American cheese, I was like, what's that? Extra sharp. And yes, I know this is like a ton of cheese, but I'm making 2 of these, so don't be alarmed. Now for my Colby Jack. And I strongly believe that you should be grating all of your cheese by hand because this will melt a whole lot better. But in my discussions about this macaroni and cheese, because I've been thinking about it for days, a friend told me that if you are going to use shredded cheese, like pre-shredded cheese, the Tillamook brand melts really nicely for pre-shredded cheese. So next time I'm making macaroni and cheese and I'm in a pinch, I'm gonna try the Tillamook shredded cheese, see how it goes. But for now, we're shredding, baby. Now for the mozz. Also, how cute are these bowls? Walmart. Mozzarella, cheddar, more cheddar, Colby Jack. I definitely have what I can only assume is too much cheese, but you never know, I might just get crazy and use it all. The time has come to try and get this macaroni and cheese together. I'm just so nervous. I just don't want to mess it up. It'll be fine. I'm going to link the recipe or the video down below in the description that gave me the most inspiration and what I'm kind of working off of. I did change a few things. I am going to just cater it more to my and my family's liking, but of course you can do this however you want. I'm using rotini. Of course, always keep it a short pasta, and rotini is good because the sauce and all that will get all caught in the ridges. So that's what I'm doing. Gonna boil these up. What I did see in a lot of videos is people boiling their pasta in some either chicken broth or with some chicken bouillon. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just throw some of this in the water. Gives the pasta a very good flavor. I'm also going to use some of this in my actual mixture, so I'm gonna keep it out. What else I'll be using? Some salt, a little bit of garlic powder, mustard powder, maybe some onion powder. I am not a paprika person, so she's staying out. Maybe some lemon pepper. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be a little adventurous, and by no means am I using a lot of this, just enough to like, I don't even know, add something, but some cayenne. And I think that's gonna be my thing. Get yourself a big bowl. And I'm going to cook my pasta al dente because I am baking this. So a couple minutes less than the box instructions. I also split up my cheese into 2 halves because I am making 2 macaroni and cheeses. And I'm also going to cut my halves into thirds because I want to put 1/3 in while I mix this together. Another third is going to be layered in between, and the other third is going to top. Also, what I'm gonna be putting in here, some sour cream, heavy cream, and a little bit of milk. This is whole milk. Those are my things. Oh, and some butter. Pound of pasta. Right into here, I'm gonna put some butter. Stir that all up. Some lemon pepper, mustard powder, just a little bit of garlic and onion powder. I don't want it to be the main flavor. Tiny, tiny hit of that cayenne. Some more of that chicken bouillon, some pepper, a little bit of salt. I'm gonna mix that around, flavor the noodles. All right, time to get serious. Throw in some of that sour cream. I feel like this will keep it good and like juicy. Also give it a little bit more flavor, a little bit of that tang. 1/3 of my cheese mixture. Give that a mix. This will start to melt. And one of the worst things about baked macaroni and cheese that can happen is it's gonna be dry. So she's gonna be swimming. Heavy cream goes in. Got that macaroni in the pot. Little bit of milk. It is going to be looser because I am baking this. It'll really tighten up and get thicker, but you don't want it dry going into that pan. I'm gonna give this a taste test, just a test for seasonings. That is delicious. I've buttered up a dish here. I think this is like a 9x13, I think, somewhere around there. I'm gonna put half of my mixture in, the other 1/3 of my cheese. I think this layering technique is probably very key because like cheese everywhere. And now the rest of my mixture. This is a pound of pasta, by the way. Now I'm gonna top it with the remainder of my cheese. Get that good cheese crust. Whenever I bake macaroni and cheese or have had baked macaroni and cheese, it's always got the like panko crust or like the Ritz on top. And it's good, but I've always wanted to try this more. I feel like it's more of like a Southern style macaroni and cheese. Over the top, we're gonna do a little bit of flaky salt and a little more cracked pepper. Gonna let this cool for just a little bit and then I'm gonna pop it in the fridge. And when I get to my parents' house later, I'm going to throw this in the oven, 350 for 30 to 35-ish minutes. You just want everything to be bubbling, melted, and then at the end I might throw it on a broil, depending on what the top looks like. I kind of want it crunchy, cheesy crunchy. But yeah, there it is. She's heavy. I just got home. I am so full, I can't even see straight. The macaroni and cheese was a hit. I am so glad that it turned out so well. This thing was so good. It was not dry, it was creamy. The top was crunchy with that beautiful layer of cheese, and it, like this cheese inside was perfect. Oh, it tasted so good. Everyone loved it. I'm so glad. And now I have a great go-to for macaroni and cheese if I ever need to bring it anywhere or if I need to bring it to my mouth. So good. And it was so easy. Literally didn't have to do anything except grate the cheese, cook the pasta. Threw everything into a bowl. Perfect. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I'm so glad I can sleep soundly tonight. And if you try it, I hope you enjoy because it is delicious.